PK in the universe, and I am back again with another video, and today we are here to talk about the Evercade Alpha. Evercade Alpha. I remember when this thing had there was teasers about it and there was leaks and stuff, and you saw all these YouTubers making these low effort videos about what could it be, what could it be, here's my speculation, and I'm kind of like, bruh, we don't know anything about this thing at all. Well, now we finally actually know something about this. I wasn't gonna make a video, then proceeds to make a video, of course. And yeah, it is not what I would have expected. My thought, my initial first thought would be like, oh, it's another console, but maybe it plays a more powerful Evercade cart, or maybe it's a hybrid like the Nintendo Switch. No, that's not what it is, unfortunately. It is a bar top arcade. That's right, a bar top arcade. I think it's stupid. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, and I know some people are like, I think it's the greatest thing ever, I'm pre-ordering it day one. Okay, cool. You do you, live your best life, okay? And here's the thing, I just don't think it makes any sense for the price point and for what it does. And here's my issues with it. A lot of us in the Evercade community have been wanting a physical Capcom cart. That is what a lot of Evercade enthusiasts would like to see. And this has Capcom games on each barcade. Each barcade is $250 a piece. $250? Are you kidding me? I mean, I could buy other bar top arcades for less money. Of course, they don't play Evercade carts, obviously, and I think the quality looks pretty good based on the pictures and the screen. Here's the thing that I don't get about the screen. The boys at Blaze are all about Tate mode, but this doesn't have a screen that you can shift, from what I can tell. So to me, I was like, that's a huge missed opportunity, but the price point. The introductory price, if you pre-order it, is $230, and it's $250 if you order it after that. $250. Like I said, there's some comparable arcade cabs of the similar size that you could order for less money. So I don't know who this is really for. I mean, I think about a fellow YouTuber by the name of The Game Freak, and he made his own Evercade cab using the Evercade VS. And, probably for less money, I would guess, than what you'd spend on this thing. And so I doubt he would be really interested in this, but I see who they're trying to market this towards. They're trying to market it towards the people who are just all in on the Evercade arcade carts. Who really want a way to play those with an actual joystick and buttons and stuff. But what doesn't make sense to me is why wouldn't they just make an Evercade, arcade stick controller? Why wouldn't they just make that? They would be able to sell multiple of those, because some person who bought this wouldn't just want to buy one, they'd want to buy many. And in the end, I think they would have made more money in the long run if they had done that instead of doing this. And again, what was I saying about the Capcom licensing? Yeah, we don't have a Capcom cart, but these things have Capcom games on them. They have a bunch of Street Fighters on one and a bunch of Mega Man games on one, which doesn't make any sense because I don't think there's been a Mega Man arcade collection since last time I checked. So why would someone want to play Mega Man games using the arcade stick? I don't get that. And, it's frustrating because Blaze has put Capcom games on the Evercade EXP, on the Super Pocket from Hyper Megatech, and now they put it on this, but there's no Evercade cart. Evercade's supposed to be about physical media, but there's no physical media here, really. I mean, it's all compacted into a system, of course, which you could say and argue is physical media, but that's not what Evercade, I thought, was about. I thought Evercade was about affordable game collecting. These things are not affordable, especially if you buy both. Because, the same price could be spent on a PS5, which plays a bunch of PS4 games as well as PS5 games. People say the PS5 has no games, but there's a huge back catalog of PS4 games, which all still look really great, honestly, in this day and age. And I don't get it. It's just really strange to me. I feel like this thing also might be geared towards and marketed towards the arcade one-up scene. So somebody like Michael B, the Game Genie, for example, a very good YouTuber, he has an Evercade, and he has Evercade carts, and he has arcade one-ups. I could see, where he would be excited about something like this. Totally get that. That's legit. But I don't see how this could get the average person who has no Evercade carts, isn't all in on Evercade, to come to Evercade. I don't see that for the most part. I've seen a lot of people on the socials being like, oh, that's kind of tempting, but I'm not interested. There's a lot of that going on in the chatter around on social media and stuff. Is like, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, of course you have the people who are like, oh, day one purchase for me. You always have those hardcore Evercade enthusiasts who are like, day one purchase for me, you know? But me, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think it would have made way more sense if they had made arcade sticks, honestly. And, you know, I have an Evercade VS controller that's absolutely a piece of garbage and is falling apart. I'm glad they're still going to make Evercade controllers and making more. Maybe the quality will be better. And I know that controller works with Alpha. That's the other thing that's kind of a miss for me, which I don't understand, is why it only has 2 controller ports. So theoretically, you could plug in 2 more arcade sticks if you want to do 3-player arcade, but then you couldn't do 4. So it kind of begs the question, maybe you would be better off trying to build your own with an Evercade VS, which would be much cheaper. Even the Evercade VSR is going to be $99, and then start buying those arcade carts. You know, it's like, are these Capcom games really worth it? This just feels like a cash grab, you know? And again, it comes back to my thought on, I feel like Evercade is supposed to be about affordable gaming, and these things are not affordable. And that's a fact. I mean, $250, I mean, you're in, you know, Switch and Switch Lite territory. You know, you're in, you know, other bar arcade things you could do other things with would make more sense. There's just so many different consoles price-wise that would make more sense than getting this. You know, especially considering the screen size. I mean, that's not a very big screen. And what will happen with this screen? You know, what if the screen stops working? You know, I mean, who knows? There's just so many variables and unknowns with this thing. All we know is what the information is out there and the specs and whatnot. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I want to make more positive Evercade content, and I do have positive Evercade content in the works. I got a video coming out soon. They'll come out after this one, probably. So yeah, I just kind of like puzzled. I mean, I think it's just a totally waste of money, and I don't get, for the most part, why the average person who doesn't have any of the Evercade carts, why they would be excited to get this. This feels like this is for the hardcore Evercade collector who has to have every Evercade thing there is in existence, regardless if it makes sense or not. You know, it has to have that purple Evercade, has to have the Founders Edition Evercade, has to have the Atomic Evercade VS and the Founders Edition. You know, it has to have every single Evercade system. That's who this is for. I don't think it'll do great, honestly. I don't feel optimistic that this will be a good selling thing. I think there will be plenty to go around because I think most people are just not going to be interested. I think, yeah, this is a huge miss for Blaze. They should have made arcade sticks, period. And I feel like it's still a bit of a letdown that we still don't have a Capcom cart. Sure, in the past I've said a Capcom cart is never happening, but the fact that they've used the license 3 times, they've used it 3 times and still haven't put out a Capcom cart, it's like, what's going on? What's the holdup? Maybe we aren't ever getting one. Maybe I was right all along, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the Evercade Alpha. I think it's totally beta, honestly, but then again, maybe it's a total alpha move by Blaze to convince people to buy this thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, but that's kind of my little rant about the Evercade Alpha. Yeah, not for me. I'm not going to buy this thing. I'm not going to, 6 months from now, you're not going to say, oh, look, I bought this thing. No, I don't care. This is not my deal. It's not my jam. This is not my jam. But yeah, I feel like Blaze is getting farther and farther away from their roots of affordable gaming with something like this. It just feels like a pure and utter cash grab meant to appeal to a different audience than me. I am not the audience for this. And that's all I really have to say about that. But anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Are you going to be purchasing that Evercade Alpha? Are you actually going to get both? Are you crazy? Am I crazy? Comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.